Hey there, good looking. Tiffany Tillman here with another Q&A Wednesday, a weekly video feature at simplytiffanystudios.com dedicated to answering your digital scrapbooking questions. Today's video is sponsored by scrapineers.com, which offers the best digital scrapbooking classes and tutorials that will help you connect your computer to your creativity. Whether it's digital crafting, blending, painting, or artistry, the Scrapineers make digital scrapbooking easy with amazing techniques tailored to your skill level. Stop by scrapineers.com today and enroll into the self-paced Keeping It Real workshop provided by yours truly, which is absolutely free when you sign up for the Scrapineers newsletter. Scrapineers.com, connecting your computer to your creativity. Okay, in some previous videos, I've given major love to Photoshop. Well, today's video, however, is all about the Photoshop elements. I gotta show y'all some love too. And if there's one function of PSE that really stumps a lot of digital scrapbookers, it's this: how to use fill opacity in Photoshop elements. Not opacity, which is the slider you'll find at the top of the layers panel here, but fill opacity. Fill opacity is the second slider found in the Photoshop layers panel. And it's truly special because when you adjust fill opacity instead of opacity, you can add transparency to an object without affecting the effects attached to the layer. So let me make that crystal clear. Fill opacity adjusts a layer's opacity without affecting the layer styles or effects. So if you apply a stroke and then adjust opacity, well, the entire layer disappears. But if you adjust fill opacity, the fill of the layer adjusts while the stroke stays intact, and it opens up a world of design possibilities. So many peeps will tell you that there is no way to adjust fill opacity in Elements because the slider doesn't exist. And they're right, to some degree, because the slider truly doesn't exist. Yet, you can still adjust fill opacity, and in this lesson, I'm going to show you how. 2 different ways. The first way is the easiest. I'll use my Shape Rounded Rectangle tool to draw a box. And now apply a simple stroke. If I were to reduce opacity at this point, the box and the stroke's opacity both reduce, obviously. So what's a girl to do? Jump back into the Effects panel and then change the drop-down here to Visibility. There are 3 options in the Visibility Effects menu: Show, Hide, and Ghosted. Applying Ghosted to a layer drops its fill opacity to 50%. Applying Hide drops fill opacity to 0%. And Show, well, that's just going to increase your fill opacity to 100%. So using this menu, you now have the option to adjust your fill opacity from 0 to 50 to 100% at the click of a button. How's that for cool? But the rabbit hole goes even deeper. See, the shortcut keys for fill opacity is the Shift key, hold down your Shift key, and then press a number on your keyboard. So I'll hold down my Shift key and press the number 1. And now I have changed my layer's fill opacity to 10%, 2, 20%, 3, 30%, and now up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0, which corresponds to 100% fill opacity. You can also verify that you've adjusted fill opacity by viewing the History panel. See, all of those changes I made were to fill opacity. Okay, so you're going to ask, why is such a skill handy? If you haven't already figured it out, if you want to create a stroke line without a middle, for instance, booyah, there you go. Or let's say you want to play with blending modes. you'll get a far better result using fill opacity than you would opacity. And we go into deep detail about this in the blending class at Scrapping-Ears. Anyway, it's just another technique to tuck inside your tool belt so that it's ready to use when you need it most. And now you know how to adjust fill opacity using Adobe Photoshop Elements. And yes, it does exist. Have a question you'd like answered on Simply Tiffany's Q&A Wednesday? Click on the Ask a Question link on the www.simplytiffanystudios.com website and send it straight to me. And if you've not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, come on, what are you waiting for? It's the easiest way to keep up to date with new do-it-yourself digi-scrapping techniques or Q&A videos. All right, until next Wednesday Q&A, happy scrapbooking.